The first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to navigate to my EasyAgentPro site. In this case, it's going to be the demo. And on all of your sites, if you're concerned about how to log in, you have two different options. The easiest way would be to scroll down to the very, very bottom of the site where the footer is, and you will see an admin login button. Or you can go to the top of the URL and log in with just a /login at the end of your URL. Once we get there, we're going to enter in our email address or our username as well as our password and log in. If your focus's site does look a little different than this, it's probably just because you haven't hooked up Google Analytics. That is one of the check marks on the Getting Started page. This is what it will look like. This is going to be your dashboard to your website. It's going to have all the information on it that you need to see that the site is functioning properly. Today, we're not really going to go into this. We're actually just going to dive right into Squeeze Pages, which is a landing page editor or creator for you. It's going to be located in the app section. And then if you notice, the apps are laid out with very specific ideas in mind. There is a lead capture app section, an SEO and content section, so adding stuff to your farm pages, maybe a blog, something like that. You've got some site design basic stuff here, follow-up and lead management, so with paths and automated text messaging. We also have our promotion stuff, so if you had a group of a team, you could create a great team page, as well as several other things. We have settings and all that good stuff, but today we are actually primarily going to focus on the Squeeze Page app. It's in the very, very first section, and we're going to go ahead and click it. And in the Squeeze Page editor, yours may look like this. It may look a little bit less busy. It's up to you and how old the site is. What we're seeing here is a bunch of test pages. These are all Squeeze Pages that people have created using the demo site, just having fun with it, experimenting. In this case, we're going to build a brand new Squeeze Page with a list of properties in Auburn. And I'm going to have it redirect directly to the InstaFarm page. You can create these featured area listings using your IDX service, which we'll be having a class about in the future. But today it's just going to be a very basic Squeeze Page, and then we're going to attach it to Facebook and run an advertisement, or get to the point where I don't want to spend money. Let's put it that way. The first step is obviously finding out what's the meat on the bone that you want to give the individual to click and fill the form out. In this case, mine's going to be a list of properties for sale, an updated list of properties for sale in the Auburn area in California. And that's going to be my goal. So now that I have my goal in mind, I'm going to go ahead and create that new Squeeze Page. I'm going to take a look, in the first section that I need to make a decision on is what template I want to use. In this case, I'm going to use probably a form or a call to action or even a Facebook login. If you notice, they are sectioned out on the left-hand side. So if you do have a property that you wanted to kind of have a featured property Squeeze Page for a coming soon listing, or even a open house that's coming out, these are really great templates to take a look at. They basically make that really pretty MLS information look a heck of a lot better. It's a great way to upsell to people who are interested in selling a home with you as well. You could say, look, not only do we do the traditional forms of marketing with your property, we put it in magazines, we put it in newspapers, whatever, our website, but we also advertise digitally on Facebook, and this is what your house's advertisement can look like. So this is actually a really great thing to show sellers as well for a seller's package. We also do a very, very good featured property advertisement on Facebook and Google for you as well. And this is where you'd go ahead and make those. We do have a basic mortgage calculator for you as well. We have a just sold one. So if you have a very hot neighborhood that you're farming, this is a really great way to show that you're selling properties left and right there. One of my favorites is the open house tool that we have as well. The nice thing about this is that the open house itself, when you give them a paper, a lot of times they're going to give you really bad information or even joking information, bigbutt@hotmail.com or something stupid like that, or it's chicken scratch. You can't even understand it. This is a great way to kind of deter that type of behavior from people coming into the open house. The way that it works is you set up your hotspot. This is the Squeeze Page that'll be on that tablet, that iPad, or that little laptop. They fill the form out. You've generated the lead from the person coming into the open house, and they've given you probably some better information than just some made-up email address. So this is a really great one for open houses. We do have a contact form as well. Very simple, just quick and easy if you have any questions. This is a great one to be posting onto Facebook groups, for sale groups and things like that. I think a contact me landing page works very, very well. We have a Facebook login, just like Netflix, Hulu, and all those crazy other accounts have these days, where they can just click login with Facebook, their account's created for them, and it pulls that data from their Facebook account. So the same thing happens here. If they want to gain access to something, they just click the Facebook sign-in button. It'll capture that lead's name and email address. The cool thing about this as well is you can also turn on an option to require a phone number, because Facebook a lot of times doesn't allow us to pull phone numbers. In this event, if you did want some phone numbers to send out a text message or something along those lines, you could do so here as well. The other thing, again, is the forms. Very, very basic, simple landing pages. This is actually what I'm going to use today, just to make a quick, easy, efficient one. And then we have some with buttons. So it's a 3-step process. Give me the tips. You can give them some type of hot call to action for them to actually fill the form out. In this case, I am going to do a form, and I am going to use this one with the couch because it's quick, efficient, and easy to use. I'm going to select it. At this point, there is split testing if you want to do split testing. I'm not going to do split testing. We're doing a very, very basic advertisement today. So I just turned that off by clicking the little AB button down here. The first thing that I noticed, right, I'm trying to sell properties, not a couch. I'm not a big fan of the image in the background, and it's a very simple way to change that. You're actually going to click anywhere in the open space, and it should pull up the image that is the background image of the landing page. And what we want to do is we actually want to change that image out. So I'm going to click change image. In this case, I'm doing California homes. I'm actually going to go to upload files. And what's cool is we do have a connection with Pixabay, which is a Creative Commons use website. So you can just use any type of stock photos that are available to you. I'm just going to search for California homes. All right, so you can pull up all this really great images. They're free to use. You can download them and use them however you see fit. It's really great to get some filler images for specific areas. It's just a nice thing to have, because we do understand that it's a pain in the butt to go out there, take 1,000 pictures, pick the 5 that you like, and use them. So I'm going to go ahead and select to download it. We're going to choose that image for future use. We're going to use this image. I'm going to hit OK now that I'm happy with it. And now it's been set in the background of the page. The Christmas lights are corny, but it is what it is. If I'm not with EasyAgentPro Homes, I can go ahead and change that as well. I'll change my image. So I'm just going to use this guy here. We're going to enter it in, and now I've got that logo swapped out for the standard logo that comes with the page before it's edited. In this case, be the first. In this case, obviously, we're not doing a list of properties in Albuquerque. We're doing it in Auburn. So I'm just going to click and then type it. Very quick, very easy. You can change all of this information. I think that's how you spell it. Yeah, I think so. You can change all of this information out however you want to. It's quick and efficient. You don't need to worry about coding or CSS or any of that style of stuff. You just point, click, and type. It's really simple. As far as the call to actions are concerned, you can the 3 that are required at all times are the first name, the last name, and the email address. A lot of times you can deter a specific lead from filling out the form if a phone number is also asked for, and you can hide that field. This means that when the form is actually built and completed, that little box will no longer be there. The individuals will not need to fill the phone number box out in order to continue. In this case, I'm going to leave it on there. And I'm actually going to change this wildcard question from how soon are you looking to move to something different. Again, you can have the option to hide the field. You can change it. We're just going to keep the wildcard question as have you lived in California. And then finally, the last thing that I want to do before I start getting in depth with my SEO on the actual page, I'm going to change this color. I'm not a fan of the blue. I'm more of an orange guy myself. So the button color, I'm actually going to change to orange. And then maybe because let's say Halloween came out, we're going to do black. So it's a little bit of a pumpkin style thing. And we can change the verbiage and the call to action. So now it's saying, show me the list, which is ultimately what we want to do. The last thing that we want to make sure, and a lot of people tend to forget, is to go through these little boxes here. These are going to help you do several things. Number one, it's going to help you complete the automation so that when a lead fills the form out, they're automatically going to go to your CRM. If the lead gives a phone number, they're going to receive an automated customized text message that I've created for them. I want to make sure that Facebook is actually tracking the leads and the traffic that come to and from this advertisement. And then I also want to be able to build most of the advertisement here in this nice, easy to use UI instead of Facebook's clunky user interface for their advertising platform. So that can be all taken care of here, and it's all done with these buttons. So the first one, if you are familiar with our apps, this is going to be the Path app. This is going to allow individuals, like I said, to automate the entire process from beginning to end so that when the lead is generated, it goes to your EAP account and it funnels directly into whatever other CRM that you're using. Grant created one a while ago called Grant's Hot Buyer Leads. This is a drip campaign that he created where maybe, there's 5 or 10 touches throughout the entire campaign. He's got it prepped and set up for this specified ads for people who are interested in properties in Auburn. So we're going to go ahead and turn on that drip campaign sequence that he's created and hit OK. So we've got that drip set up. It's all automated for us now. The Texie, I do want to receive notifications on my cell phone letting me know that a lead has come through. And I do want to send a custom message to these individuals as well when they give me their phone number. So putting the ball in their court, I'm giving them that immediate touch within 5 seconds of the form being filled out. So your conversion rate jumps up significantly. I gave them a nice little catchy sentence. You picked a great place to look for houses. If you have any questions, feel free to reach me at 867-5309. It's a good song. It's quick and easy. Now, anytime an individual fills the form out, they will receive this message on their cell phone or on whatever text message device that they've got. So it's a very, very nice, neat, easy, automated way to get that first touch immediately and bump that conversion up. I love Texie. It's super cool. The other thing as well that you folks can do, you can turn on your Facebook tracking pixel. The reason why this is a good idea, this is great for retargeting. It allows Facebook to find similar interests towards other people that they want to re-advertise to. So the nice thing is that this algorithm is very, very smart and will look at something called an avatar. And that avatar is going to be the individual that's likely to click your ad. And the more ads you run and the more tracking Facebook's able to do, the higher the likelihood that that avatar is going to be the person that's targeted. So very, very great, smart software tool. It's really important that you guys that you folks set up your Pixel account. I definitely recommend taking a look at that. You can actually find out how to set up your Pixel account in the Pixels app or the education section of your site. In the event that you're concerned that you think you did it, just hit the help button in the upper right-hand corner of your dashboard by your headshots and just double check, and we'll be happy to take a look at it for you as well. These other ones here are in the event that you folks do have another type of pixel tracking software installed on your site. 99.8% of the time, none of you do. That's totally fine. It's just for those special instances, we do give you the option to do so if maybe you have a marketer who's helping you out or something like that. But the two big ones, the two important ones are going to be the tracking leads with Facebook and the views. The next thing that I want to do is I actually want to build this advertisement out to the fullest extent that I possibly can here in this interface before navigating over to Facebook to finalize my targeted audience and finalize the advertisement itself. So if you notice, the SEO little find me tool is here. And again, we're going to just do a short title and short description of what's going on with this advertisement. So if you notice, I did a SEO title, just something hot and heavy to catch their eye, want a list of homes. The description, fill out the form and get a free list of properties in the Auburn area. When you folks are all set with your advertisement, don't be scared to use really big, exciting words like free, giveaway, something like that. It varies on state-by-state guidelines, and Facebook will let you know if you can't use it. But a general rule of thumb is that you can use words like that when you're running your advertisement because ultimately you are giving away a free list in exchange for their information. So yeah, don't be scared to use like really, really great, happy, poppy, excited words when you're trying to give away something. It tends to have people direct their eyes a little bit faster to that advertisement to see what they're getting. The last thing is I do actually have a social share image. And what this is designed to do is to roll over that image over to the Facebook ad that we're creating. In this case, for consistency, I probably will pick something California related, maybe even this exact same image. Or just in general, a decent looking house. Like this one's kind of cool. So I'm going to choose that one. So we've got the best of both worlds. California has the option of, lavish, beautiful, modern properties to some really cool craftsman style, old school bungalows, which I really, really like. So I'm just kind of keeping it consistent. They're both located in California, hypothetically, and just moving along. So I did pick my image out, and now I'm going to click OK. With that said, we've knocked everything out underneath here. Now that I'm done editing this actual squeeze page, I'm going to click the Done Editing button. Who knew? And now it's asking me what the URL should be that it's going to get redirected to. The cool thing about this is I have 3 different options. I can give them a redirect to a URL of a page that I've created, in this case, a list of properties. I can also change it to a download, meaning that I can give them a PDF, so a guide to buying your first home, a guide to selling your home within 90 days, some type of ebook, the do's and don'ts of signing for a lease or loan, things like that. Or you can also give them a generic thank you page, which is perfect for that featured property that I was telling you about. If it's coming soon, the open house is next weekend, and you run the ad, they fill the form out, they get all the information, and then you give them, hey, thank you so much for filling the form out. I'll be sending you some more information about the property and when it's being hosted for the open house, right? So you have a nice thank you page. In this case, there is a very specific thing that I am looking for. It is a list of properties that I've created already. I'm going to go ahead and open up my homepage, and I'm going to look for my Auburn homes for sale. So here's featured. There's Auburn. So this is a page that I've created about Auburn properties. Here's all of the properties that I found in Auburn that I really, really liked. These will be updated as per the MLS board's request to update. So it varies on, it's a board by board variation. Some update in 5 seconds, others update in 5 minutes, other is in 5 hours. But this list will constantly update for you in real time. So you no longer have to stress out about, sending off a list and then maybe 2 properties come. And within 2 minutes, those 2 properties come, and then the list is obviously out of date. It will constantly update for you as the advertisement's running. We're going to go ahead and paste that Auburn Homes for Sale link that I have with the properties on it, and I'm going to go ahead and save it. What this does is it's telling me that when the form is filled out, the individual will be redirected to that list of properties. Very simple. They can only view that list of properties if they fill the form out. So it's almost like a virtual lead lock with this landing page. At this moment in time, I'm happy. I like the way everything looks. I like it. I'm going to launch it. I'm going to go ahead and name my squeeze page. And then I'm going to go ahead and save it. Now that it's saved, you can see the LiveSite example here. I'm more of a fan of actually clicking back to the home page of the Squeeze Page app. And when I'm here, I'll be able to see that the newest landing page that I've created is the Auburn Homes one that I have right here. If you click View, you will get a live link to the Squeeze Page. So this is a live Squeeze Page. If you filled this form out, a lead would be generated, and you would get a list of all the properties in Auburn that are awesome. Right? So this is how this works. We've got the live Squeeze Page. Now I'm going to navigate over to my Facebook, and I'm actually going to build the advertisement out in Facebook. I do apologize for anything weird that pops up here. You know how Facebook is. Very, very polarizing area. If you notice on all your Facebook accounts, I'm actually on my private account. I can go back to my business account, but the business account will always be connected to your private account. So all you need to do is hit the little arrow button here, and it'll take you to the Manage Ads button. And this is going to open up your ad pro for your ad manager for your Facebook account, your business account. So this is my account management area on Facebook. This is where I'm going to continue building the advertisement quickly and efficiently. This is probably where all your pens and pencils are going to be moving a mile a minute, because this can be a little frustrating to people. That's why we're here to help you out today. I am going to go very slow on it. The first thing when you're in your ads manager is you want to create the advertisement. Obviously, there's a big green button that says create. That's the quickest and most efficient way to do it. When you're here, let me go. This is an old one that I was helping someone. When you're here, if you notice, it's very, very simplified, and that's good. That's what we want. If you asked me to do this 2 months ago, or even 6 months or a year ago, this almost looked completely different. There was a ton of things that you had to do. Right now, the first thing that I want you to do is set an objective. And in this case, we want a lot of traffic getting pumped to that landing page. This is a brand new advertisement for a brand new site. Conversions won't work that well because, we're a brand new, let's say we're a new agent, or we have our new setup, our new pixel. We want them to at least start somewhere. So we're going to go ahead and select traffic for our consideration. It's going to load up some specified things to get really in depth with. You can do split testing or budget optimization. I'm more of a fan of selecting my own budget, so I'm going to keep that off. And again, split testing is for a really advanced user. You need a lot of advertisers behind your belt in order to even split test properly. So we're just going to keep those off. And the campaign name, I'm just going to name it whatever I'm running the advertisement as. Make sure you keep your names consistent throughout your squeeze pages and your actual advertisement on Facebook, just so you know very, very well where the individual came from and what form they actually filled out. Once we're done here, we're going to navigate to the continue section. And this is where it gets really, really fun. I actually enjoy doing this. This is where you select and create your audience. It's pretty quick and easy once you get the hang of it. You don't need to stress out too much about this, but this is going to make or break the advertisement as far as who's getting targeted to view the ad. If you notice, the first thing it's going to ask you is choose where you want your traffic to be driven. Well, I want it to be driven to my website, right, or my landing page. I'm not doing an app, a messenger, or WhatsApp, so just the website's good. I don't really mess with dynamic creative or the offer section at all because the landing page takes care of all of that for me. And I scroll down to the audience section. If you have a saved audience, you can find them here. This is a great way to retarget. You can also use a saved audience here. But in this case, we're going to build out a brand new one. I'm going to search Auburn, California. So we're going to go ahead and target people in Auburn. I'm going to do a 50-mile square radius of that. I'm also going to target, let's say, Santa Rosa. Right? We got Santa Rosa targeted. What else do we got here? San Francisco. You can target a bunch of different areas, which is great. San Francisco, I might even bump up to 50. There we go. So we've got some really, really great targeting. I'm happy with those areas. Think outside the box sometimes. Pay attention to the market, the economy in your area. New Mexico is a great example. Las Vegas, Nevada is a perfect example. 3 years ago, they built that Tesla battery charging area where they were building all the batteries for their cars. That was what, 2,000, 3,000 jobs? People from Silicon Valley who had to manage and lead the new employees were coming from Silicon Valley to Las Vegas to help train staff and manage the new factory, right? That's probably 500, 600 homes that needed to be targeted, right? That needed to be filled. That's an easy sale for you. There's a ton of new jobs opening up there. People are ready to buy, ready to purchase. If Amazon's building a huge plant near you guys, that's another one to really focus in on. Pay attention where those things are being built. Facebook and Google have call centers now popping up all over the country. Things like that. If you see one of those popping up, start targeting Silicon Valley. Start targeting where these companies are from, Seattle, Washington, if it's Boeing or whatever. Target those areas because people do eventually need to move over to where you're located to manage and maintain these properties that their company owns. So think outside the box when you're doing this. Obviously, don't hurt your head. Don't stress about it. But it is a very cool marketing tactic to do something like that. The next thing that we're gonna go into is the age. I don't know a lot about real estate, but I know enough to know that unless they're a trust fund kid, they're definitely not buying a house at 18 years old. I recommend starting at 26, 27. That's generally around the age where people are trying to purchase their properties, their first homes, things like that. With that said, if you do a single story ad, it might be better to actually target older individuals, right? Hey, is that 2-story house really hurting your crusty knees? Well, let's start thinking about a more manageable property with a single story on a half acre instead of a full acre. And you can adjust the individuals who see that. So grandma on Facebook who's got that big 2-story mansion and just can't manage it anymore, she would see this on Facebook, be happy about it, and start looking at some more manageable properties. A big rule of thumb that I always recommend when it comes to gender, languages, and excluding people, don't do it. Don't ever exclude an individual unless it's another agent, and even then, you may be shooting yourself in the foot because you lose out on a referral. What I recommend doing is definitely targeting people, but do not exclude people. It's a violation of equal housing. It's also a violation in some states when it comes to Facebook's user agreement. So just be very, very careful on exclusion. So make sure that the gender's set to all, make sure the languages are set to whatever, blank is fine. And your detailed targeting, that's where you can have fun and really narrow it down. Do not exclude people. It's a big, big, bad situation and it can get hairy fast. In this case, it's a hot deal of listen Auburn homes or whatever. I'm just gonna do this. See if something pops up. Yep. Oops. All right, that was not that good. we'll do family. Do real estate. And then at that point, you can start looking at suggestions. House hunting's great. Zillow. First-time buyer. Parents with early school-age children. Let's see what else there is. Relocating, right? Like I said, we're talking about Tesla and all those places building huge factories everywhere. Luxury real estate, we're in Auburn, right? You have to be part of the Illuminati to afford a house there. So you can adjust. The other thing as well for demographics, if you're in a luxury market, focus in, it sounds really funny, focus in on what an individual who's searching for a property in that market would drive. Right? Or just focus in on other things. If you're near a golf course, if you really had a list of properties near a golf course, you know, you can start targeting those people as well. So get really creative with the interests and demographics. This will really help you set up your audience for success when it comes to the advertisement. This is usually what'll make or break a decent ad, is what you're doing here in the targeting section. The last thing as well is there is a placements box. There's two more things here, and then I'll check on you guys and make sure you're doing okay. The placement box, there's one thing that I usually typically recommend people do. They edit the placement, and then they want to go ahead and remove everything from Instagram. I have yet to see a really decent advertisement perform well when it's shared on Instagram. It's more for pictures. It's more for finding a niche audience. It's not really designed to sell a property, to sell a list of homes or something like that. So when you are focused in, when you folks are focused in and pushing this advertisement out to Facebook, it will also send it to Pinterest or to Instagram if you have them if you have them selected. In this case, you are wasting money, I feel like, and I'd rather see that budget be placed in just pushing the advertisement in Facebook, as well as some other audience networks as well, and not really Instagram itself. So that's just a general notation that I'd recommend. Make sure you're turning off the Instagram feed just so you're not wasting the money. Lastly, specifying mobile devices. Again, it's one of those equal housing things. You don't want to specify iPhone agents or iPhone people versus Android people. I know it's fun to bicker and argue about it. In the long term, you can get in trouble for it. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it has happened. So just leave it on all mobile devices. You can exclude people as well, but again, don't mess with it. You know, let the bear hibernate, let the bear sleep, don't poke it. And then finally, you go into budgeting and scheduling. And what I like to do is I actually set a lifetime budget for the ad. I'm not a fan of daily budgets. I tend to do them for a weekend. So from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That's how I set my ads up. I prefer to set my ad up later in the afternoon or early evening on Friday because people are all off of work. By then they have, 5 o'clock, they've got their beer in hand and they're checking their social media account, seeing what's going on. And by Monday around 11 o'clock, people are starting to get back into the flow of work, into the flow of the work week. So they're probably checking their Facebook accounts one last time just to savor that last little bit of weekend before they have to go to work again. So that's generally what I do. Again, the world's your oyster. You do what you want with it. That's what I recommend. If it's an open house advertisement, running it Monday to Thursday or Monday to Friday would work just as equally well. Once you've set the advertisement up and you're good to go, you can adjust the lifetime budget. You can generate ads off of a $45 lifetime budget for the 4 days. It's happened. Obviously, the more you spend, the better the reach and link clicks will go up. If I'm going to do, let's say, $3,500, you will actually see that go up significantly. So again, depending on what you spend, you will see this go up or down in real time. But again, people have generated a lot of leads off of $45. So don't stress about the budget. Just stress more about the time so you get the best bang for your buck when people are viewing their Facebook accounts or when you think they'd be viewing their Facebook accounts. All right, we're going to move on to the last part, and then I promise you we are done, and I'll let you folks ask some questions, and then we'll hit the ground running and head out for the day. I'm going to go ahead and click continue. And now I'm in the ad section. This is my favorite part because it's the last part and we're done. This has always been a major, major thorn in a lot of agents' sides when it comes to building the advertisement. It's a pain in the butt to use. It's clunky. It's laggy. I don't like it. In this case, you want to make sure that you're using your business page, right? So you can click down and you'll see your other accounts there. The big thing that you need to write down if you want everything to roll over properly, you want to make sure you're choosing the single image advertisement. Don't worry about Instagram because obviously we're not advertising on it. And what's cool is now you can blast through all of this. We're gonna go to the website URL. That's all we need to go down to. If you notice, it's right here. It'll be underneath your link section. I'm actually gonna grab that great squeeze page that I've created. Remember, this is the live link to the squeeze page. Oops. And I'm gonna go ahead and paste it. If I did this right, everything's gonna roll over. And now we have a beautiful advertisement that I created in the Squeeze Page app, and it's rolled over and completely done everything for me. I do not need to go through every single thing of this. It automatically uploads the image for me. All of the SEO has rolled over as well, the headline and the text. It's all there. Maybe I wanted to change, instead of learn more, maybe shop now. Right, you can change that little button if you'd like. But general rule of thumb is you'll be able to see the advertisement built out immediately, and all you have to do is copy and paste your link into the website URL section. It's that simple. The really, really great thing, the last thing, notate this, you always want to do show advanced options at the very, very bottom here, and you always want to turn on the Facebook pixel in this last spot. So there's 3 places total that you're going to turn the Facebook pixel on. The first 2 are located in the Squeeze Page editor, and the last one is going to be located here. And that's it. If I was happy with the results, I'd click confirm. I'd have $3,500 taken from my account, and the advertisement would be running on that specified date that I chose. If somebody has a live account that they don't mind sharing, a live EasyAgentPro website that they don't mind sharing or having it recorded, I can also show you folks super fast how to create a market. So this is the beginning of Jennifer's site here. She has a getting started section. Again, on the headshot of all of your sites, if you click down, you will see this drop down. The 4th one is your IDX login button. When you click IDX login, it's going to take you to an IDX control panel. If I minimize this, because people tend to get lost, it does open in its own tab. Here's her website. Here's the tab for the IDX control panel. It will always do this, so don't get lost. Don't panic and think that there's 1,000 things. It's just the 2 tabs are all that you need. If you notice on the top here, there is a markets section. When we click markets, this will be the area where any type of list of properties that you're creating will be nestled and live. The nice thing is that they have an ID number attached to them. So they're also going to roll over for IDX shortcode to attach them to a custom page, to whatever you want to use. But in this case, we're just creating a list for the redirect on a landing page. I'm going to click add market. I'm going to do test or name it whatever it is that you're creating. And this is the big part. You want to always use the advanced MLS search, not the basic search. And this is going to give you all of the options that your board gives you to search for specific types of properties. The first thing is obviously we want to pick a specific area. That's a pretty scary place to live. San Lorenzo sounds, okay, 32 results there, and San Jose. So I picked San Jose and San Lorenzo. You can pick multiples if you wanted to. It's showing the listings that are available for me to check out, but let's say I'm creating an advertisement in the middle of winter for properties with a fireplace, right? It gets chilly in Diablo or whatever the name was. We're going to go ahead and select fireplace, and now it's going to adjust and filter those settings so that the only properties that you can view have fireplaces in them. The other thing, maybe I just want all the open houses with fireplaces in the next 30 days. You can adjust the minimum price and the maximum price, square footage. And if you look down here, this is my favorite part. If you have a very specified neighborhood that you like using, that you work really well in, chances are it's going to be in the neighborhood section. There's school district sections, and each one of these are going to vary on board by board basis. But either way, there's areas, complexes names. There's all kinds of different ways you can search for properties using this tool. Now that I'm happy with the fireplaces for these 2 areas, I'm going to go ahead and click save. And now that I've clicked save, if I go back to the market section, this should be here. And there it is. This is the created one. This is the market with fireplaces in those 2 areas. If I click view page, it's going to open up a 3rd tab for me. And this 3rd tab is going to have the lovely website that she has created along with the search results in a specified area of the fireplaces, the properties with fireplaces. So if we maximize it here. My apologies. Now we've got all this great list. Now this list is a standalone list. This link will not go anywhere unless you specify where you want it to go. In this case, you would copy and paste it in the redirect box on the squeeze page editor so that the only way an individual can view this list is if they fill the form out. So that's how you create a quick little market. We will go more in depth with it later next week. That's a great idea for a class. I love it. So we will be diving into that a little bit more in the future. With that said, I'm out of here. Hopefully this did help you. In the event that you do have any other questions, you can always email support@EasyAgentPro.com with a quicker response time. So thank you so much, folks, for hanging out with me today. I really, really appreciate you letting me teach you guys how to do this really fun stuff. And in the event that you do need help, we're always here for you. Feel free to email, chat, or call us, and we'll be happy to help you. Have a great rest of your day.